Whispered promises straight to my heart. I'd never noticed, but you were never there, you were never there. Hey, you gave me roses.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Sunshinery. Make sure to subscribe and like this video.
But you were never there, you were never. I want us to be what we used to be this night. Baby, just another fight. But you don't wanna see me cry.
Welcome to Disrespectfully with Katie Maloney and Dayna Kathan. Unapologetically, we're here to do what we want to do. Spilling the tea. Babe, you're gonna see the power of it, like disrespectfully.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. We are here for a Disrespectfully episode. Now, I still want to cover the Girth Master, which that will be later. We can still enjoy him and their very first guest on Disrespectfully, but we had to do this week's episode because it is a very exciting episode because they have Ariana Madix on. Now, they are going to be talking about something about her. The grand opening just happened. The Vanderpump Rules reunion, of course, Love Island, and so much more. Now, because they just had their grand opening on the 22nd, and then they had a soft opening before that on the 17th, I'm excited because I can include all of that here for you guys, so you can get like a 2-for-1 kind of special. So I hope you all are ready for this episode. I'm excited, and make sure you like this video, you're subscribed to my channel, and once you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are set to all so you can get notified every time I post a video or go live, which we are going to be starting the membership lives. So if you are not a member, consider becoming a member. All right, let's get into it, guys.
Hi. It's a special day.
It's a very special day.
For a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, obviously. It's always a special day.
Obviously.
But we should talk about why.
Should we talk about why?
Yeah.
Ariana,
What are you doing here?
Plan that?
No.
It just occurred to me. Well, honestly, even if I had never met you, that's something I say at least 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you say that's something that's in your vernacular, Ariana, what are you doing here when it has nothing to do with you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I'm
even know
always
what's from.
thinking it.
Always thinking it.
Always thinking it.
Always thinking it.
But
always
anyways,
thinking
we're happy you're here.
Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan.
I know you are. You're always such a supporter. You're always like talking about our, episodes and everything. And
You interact with our socials, I think, more than anyone else.
I know.
You guys are like, you slay me. Literally see you in bed like
Seriously, that is me.
she tee-hee-hees
I
in bed.
tee at all of your TikToks and your episodes are the funniest podcast I know.
I mean, we paid her to say that. It is what it is. Speaking of like getting paid and whatnot, we have so much to get into today and I'm excited. But I'm sitting here with like the owners of the new hottest spot in town, something about her. And yesterday you guys had your official opening. I saw a bunch of videos, obviously, but like, because we went to the soft opening. So I have been waiting 12 hours for this story. So
Yeah.
please tell me everything. What's the business? How was yesterday? The highs, the lows, spare no details.
Well, I mean, we didn't know what to expect. And I know that sounds crazy, but truly we're like, okay, I'm sure like we'll have a pretty decent turnout. I mean, people have been anticipating as much as we have, but like we could not have anticipated or expected the turnout that we had. People started lining up at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I got there closer to 10, the line was probably, 75 people deep.
And that's it opens at 10.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
2 hours earlier. So it's basically a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
pretty much.
And of course we walk in, we're having issues with our POS. Like our main terminal was not working. We luckily had these like portable handheld ones. So we were able to do that. But
And the
it was,
tickets weren't printing in the kit. It was like all these things that had never been a problem the entire time decided to like, hey, like at 9 a.m., like an hour before you guys open. It'd be like really cool and fun if I just like didn't work.
Mhm.
So the day finally happened where something about her has officially opened and they are in business. I want to start by talking a little bit about the soft opening that Ariana and Katie celebrated on May 16th. And that's also when they revealed the mouth-watering official menu too. Katie went to Instagram and posted in the stories the menu, which of course included a variety of sandwiches, assorted sweet teas, beer, Avalon wine, Loverboy hard tea, and of course, non-alcoholic drinks. In a repost IG story that Katie also posted, she highlighted the Meg sandwich, which, according to the menu, includes Greek salad, tzatziki, probably didn't say that right, feta, a sun-dried tomato, mixed herbs, and romaine lettuce. Now that sounds good. Not too sure what the tzatziki is, but why not try it? The Meg would definitely be an option for me, along with the Nancy and possibly the Dana. I would love, though, to know what you all would try if you could. I will also say these are all very unique and well thought out sandwiches. And this isn't like a Subway where you have it your way kind of thing, which I think it makes it even more special and amazing that they're just so unique. And I know that Penny did have a lot of ideas when it came to these sandwiches, and we've seen the different varieties of sandwiches throughout season 10 and then 11. But I just, not like looking through the menu, they all look so good. They sound delicious, and they're all very unique in their own way. Also, there were a lot of familiar faces that were celebrating their soft opening, including Katie's mom, Terry Maloney. Ariana's boyfriend, Daniel, was also there. The Valley star, Janet and Kristen, were both there. I also saw Kyle, Amanda, and Lindsay from Summer House, which, of course, Kyle and Amanda would be there, especially since Loverboy is on the menu. I think that is so cool, too. Andy Cohen was there. I know Stassi and Bo were there as well. And real quick, before I get back to the podcast, I want to show you a quick IG reel from Coca Mama Coca regarding the soft opening and just some little behind-the-scenes video from that day. So please check her out on IG, but also check her out on YouTube, which her links will be posted down below for you all.
Dispatches from Something About Her, or Nothing About Her, as Lala says. Anyway, there's Andy, Stassi, Lindsay, and Bo. Bo! Anyway, obviously this place is open. It's open for real, so there's Kristen, duh. Then here's like the entrance, the awning. This is really cute. This is so cute. This video is from the Boys Lie girls. And there's Terry Maloney. Here's the menu. They're all leading ladies in rom-coms. That's what they're named after, or the sandwiches are named after. There's our girl. There's our girls. And here's me wearing Ariana's shirt, which is made by Boys Lie.
So obviously we're still able to let people in, but it was going to have to be a slower process. We didn't want to have to overwhelm the staff or the kitchen. And we wanted everyone that was coming in to have a really lovely experience and not like overcrowd everything, or it's a small space, you know? So we tried to let everybody know that before we even opened the doors.
Yeah. We just wanted to like, look, we're a small space, and that's by design. You know, we didn't want to overextend ourselves on our first business like this venture together. And so we were excited about having this like small, cozy space. And so very quickly we get full, and that's great. We love that. That also means that we have to kind of like, you know, we have to gauge what's the flow of things, you know? And, you know, we had Jamie, our chef back there, our amazing staff, Parker, Dulce, Josh, like in the kitchen, just like turning out sandwiches. I think they made like 300 sandwiches or something.
Yeah. And by like 2,
Yeah.
we were running out of things. We're having to 86, like
We were like,
half of the
yeah.
menu.
Did you guys sell it completely by the end of the day?
Almost.
Yeah. So we knew that we were starting to talk about, okay, because the line was now it was almost at Sir, which is a block away. Yeah. It was, you know, and we just knew, well, there's no way we're going to get through all these people. So we knew that we were going to have to cut the line off. And so we
gave it till, you know, 3:00. And then we were like, okay, realistically, how many people are we going to actually be able to? Because we didn't want to have people waiting outside for much longer if we know, you know. So once we started to be able to understand like what exactly we will be able to handle in that last hour, we were like, let's go outside. We'll talk to people. Obviously, we would love to be able to have everybody in there, but we're open from 10 to 4. And, you know, it's the first day. And it was so awesome and cool to see how many people wanted to come and support and get sandwiches and come inside. And so eventually I think we'll be able to get everybody. But it's just crazy. It's like the best problem to have.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, we need to actually maybe have more seats. We need to maybe have a bigger space. Like that's a great problem to have than the opposite of being like, no one's coming.
And of course, our whole thing was like, well, how do we make it so people aren't waiting hours and hours and hours? And we didn't know when to call it, or we didn't want to discourage people. Having to turn people away is heartbreaking and devastating for them, for us, for everything. But we just didn't anticipate that, and we wanted to give it as much time as possible just to see how we could get as many people in and out as we possibly could. So obviously, it being our first time at this, and and our staff and everyone, no one really knew how to handle the situation in the best way possible. And so we went out there and met everyone, took pictures with them. I mean, that's all we could do at that point.
Yeah.
It was just, if we couldn't meet them inside, was to meet them outside. And we honestly didn't even know like how far the line went back. We could peek our head out, and that's when we saw like that the line was going back there. We're like, okay, this is not going to happen today for everybody.
So as we know, on Wednesday, May 22nd, more than 100 people lined up outside that bright yellow awning that they finally were able to put back up before it even had opened the doors yet. They waited several hours just to buy the highly anticipated sandwiches from this long-awaited restaurant that we've been waiting. It feels like forever for them to open. There was one person I saw that wrote an article about waiting in line for something about her and documented their entire experience that I want to go over so that way we could talk about the grand opening and what it was like for Annette. So, the article is titled, I waited in line for 5 hours at something about her, the new Vanderpump Rules restaurant, but never even got a sandwich. She starts off the article by going over the key points of it, then went into the 2 years in the making of something about her, the details of it all, something we already know from being fans of the show. That's though when she got into the hour by hour experience, and that is where I'm gonna start. Hour 1, busy from the beginning. I had expected to wait when I arrived at something about her, but my heart started to drop into my very empty stomach as I saw 100+ people already lined up. It was just before 11 a.m., an hour after the restaurant had opened its doors, and Madix and Maloney's fans were already out in full force. One woman later told me her friend had been the first in line at 8 a.m. I had vastly underestimated the dedication of Bravo fans, but spirits were high as I took my place in line and almost immediately began chatting to the women right behind me. I instantly bonded with Kat, who was only in LA for 24 hours on a layover from Australia. A huge Vanderpump fan, she could not miss catching the opening day, even if it meant skipping some sightseeing in LA. We had no idea we were about to spend the next 5 hours together. We slowly inched past the neighboring boutique and hair shop as the line behind us quickly multiplied, curving around the block and reaching as far as Sir. Poetic. A sweet server in a black something about her shirt and matching combat boots repeatedly walked over to deliver trays of water to everybody. Side note, that's much better than TanaCon. Kat and I happily chatted about Vanderpump and its new spinoff, The Valley, with the women around us, and waved as the first TMZ bus drove by. Hour 2, spirits still high. The line was barely moving, but no one around me was deterred. We chatted with the women whose friend came at 8 a.m., She walked by with her crisp white something about her bag and told us all to get the Viola, the Reese, or the Meg. All 9 sandwiches on the menu, which range from 14 to 18 and are named after famous women in film. They were all really good, she added, boosting our morals even as she explained that the restaurant's POS system was down. The crowd was fueling from the long haul, popping into Alana's coffee roasters next door for caffeine and snacks. By 12:30, an hour and a half into my journey, it had completely sold out of pastries. There were some brief Bravo celebrity sightings. Peter Madral, who appeared on Vanderpump for 10 seasons, waved to fans on his way to SUR, where he's currently a manager. The crowd cheered as Madix came by to throw something away in a dumpster at the back of the restaurant. She waved and thanked everyone for waiting. "You look amazing," she told a man who had half of his beard shaved off. At this point, we were deep into the part of the line that curved into the alley. It was far longer than it had looked. At the 2-hour and 20-minute mark, the smell of hot dogs suddenly filled the air, and I briefly wondered if I was hallucinating. My group's hopes were starting to dim as we questioned whether there'd even be enough sandwiches by the time we got to the front. I took a peek at the back of the line, which had significantly dropped off. It seemed people were starting to give up. But still, we trekked on. So that was it for hour 1 and 2. I will do 3 and 4 are already 1 together, and 5 on the next little break.
Was so nice about it.
Yeah.
Like an understanding of, like, some people were like, I mean, when I got in this line, I kind of thought it's not.
Yeah.
And I was like, that made us feel, I think, a lot better, because I think we were so nervous about going out there and having to say that, like, we won't be able to get to them that day. And so it was awesome how nice they were about it.
Understanding,
Because
yeah.
It's scary. It's a scary feeling being like, oh, we're going to
You
disappoint
walk out there, they
people.
just slap you in the face.
They're like, fuck you.
I mean, you know,
Like, fuck it, Sam.
well, because when we find out that people had like traveled or they're
Yeah.
just here for the one
Ugh.
day, and you're just like, oh, like it sucks, you know. But we really appreciate everyone coming and spending hours waiting. That's a really
Yeah.
wonderful feeling, and you know,
We hope that we can one day provide each and every one of them with the best sandwich ever.
yeah.
Well, I guess that the moral of the story is the early bird gets the Meg. Just is what it is. Okay, then I want to know from the day from each of you, what was your high point? Because obviously the low point was not being able to get to everyone in the POS system. So like
Sure, yeah.
each of you individually, like what was your moment that you were like, holy shit?
I feel like there was a moment when we were like folding more menus or something, when you were like, are you crying?
No, you came and gave me a hug, and you're
Yeah.
like, and she just had like tears in her eyes, and I was like, are you crying? She's like, I've been crying all day.
Yeah, I
And
was
I was
crying
like-
like all morning. Like when I was
She like takes a
driving over.
ciabatta bun. It's like, oh, God.
We need those. I can't.
No. Yeah, we're running low. No, but it was, I don't know if there was a particular moment, but it was just kind of seeing everyone in there and everyone having a good time and enjoying everything. I mean, there was not a crumb left on any of those trays. People were just really taking in this space and enjoying it. And it was just like, that was the reaction I was hoping that we would get when we could finally have people in there and open up the doors. And, you know, that's, you know, the kind of gratification and response that you want to have after all this time. That was the biggest, the anticipation and this whole time of like, when people are asking for updates and wanting details and wanting all that and not being able to give it to them and just trying to like give them as much detail as you possibly could, but just like, just wait, you're going to love it. And then having that moment of just seeing everyone's face in there. That
Yeah.
for me. Mm-hmm.
Hours 3 and 4, sold out sandwiches. We had now been in line for the length of an average Martin Scorsese movie. The absurdity was not lost on anyone around me, most of whom had skipped breakfast. "This is like Survivor," one person nearby joked. "Day 50 on the island." "It didn't take me this long to give birth," another podcaster, Sarah Fraser, who had become part of my improv line crew. "I had a whole child by now." We all discussed what we wish had been done differently. There seemed to be a lot of missed opportunities to turn the opening into an event. put James Kennedy out there on the decks and distract people, have your Vanderpump co-stars make guest appearances, set up a merch table outside, pass out samples. Those are all great ideas in my opinion. Nevertheless, it seemed everyone around us was making a valiant effort to entertain themselves. I was touched to see so many people just chatting with each other instead of staring at their phones. At 2:30 p.m., it was announced the store had sold out of 3 sandwiches. The Cameron, a trifecta of salami, sopressata, and mortadella with homemade balsamic onion marmalade. The Kate, which is with burrata, tomatoes, and shala on rustic ciabatta. And the Nancy, a sourdough BLT. A server also revealed that there were no longer offering to go as an option. You could only dine in. I assumed the decision was made to try to keep up with the orders as supplies began to dwindle, but we were still a bit baffled knowing it would slow down the line even more. As the sun came out and the California heat hit, everyone began taking turns buying water bottles for each other. One girl offered us snacks as she asked, "Is anyone getting hangry?" A third TMZ bus drove by. It had been 4 hours. Suddenly, there was a shift in front of us, and a sea of cameras shot up. Madix and Maloney were at the entrance, waving and greeting the cheering crowd. Then Madix started counting down the line, stopping right after us. Everyone else was kindly told they wouldn't be able to get sandwiches that day. I have to commend Madix and Maloney, who spent over an hour talking to everyone in the large group of people who didn't make it inside. I saw them snapping pictures, giggling with babies, and truly taking their time to hang with all of their fans. Many people left still smiling, excitedly showing each other their selfies with the stars, even as they walked away empty-handed. Hour 5, Mission Impossible. I have never waited in a line for 5 hours, or 4 hours, or 3 hours, or 2 hours. So I wasn't prepared for the wave of exhaustion that hit me as we entered the final stretch, not yet knowing there was nothing waiting for us at the end. Kat and I prayed that we wouldn't be stuck with all of the tuna sandwiches and dreamed of the Meg, a veggie Greek salad sandwich with tzatziki and feta. We were finally at the entrance, and I could see into the restaurant's large windows, where I spotted Maloney's mom taking orders and bringing people boxes for their leftovers. We started chatting with one of the staff members working the door, who told us the Cameron had been the most popular sandwich of the day. When we asked why the line had been moving so slowly, she revealed the kitchen was small and only one of the 9 sandwiches was pre-made. As we predicted, service had been hampered by the people dining inside the restaurant. She told us that there had been customers who would finish a sandwich at their table and then decided to order more on the spot. Damn, that's good. Mere minutes before the clock struck 4, our friend at the door told us the kitchen was closed. I had been just 2 people away from getting served. My group groaned. We'd officially been there for 5 hours and wondered why they hadn't just told us to go home earlier. They still let us step inside and grab some pastries and chips. I walked through the small but charming 15-seated restaurant, painted in a lovely shade of teal and warmly lit by candelabra chandeliers. People were still finishing up their sandwiches, and one girl told me the Reese was the best chicken salad sandwich she ever had. I grabbed a bag of chips and a pretty solid chocolate chip cookie. My 5-hour wait had finally come to an end. Was it chaotic? Absolutely. But what stood out to me even more was I had never seen anyone in line get mean or angry. As we walked away from the cheerful yellow and white striped awning, I watched multiple people hug and exchange Instagram handles. It later struck me how iconic it was that a show centered around tumultuous, and I know I said that so weird, such a weird word, tumultuous friendships had peacefully brought so many people together. My stomach was empty, but my glass was half full. And don't worry, my sandwich review will still be coming soon. Which I have not seen another review yet from Annette, but if she does do one, you best believe I'll bring it to us. I'm glad to see that everyone, even waiting 5 hours, had a good time at least. Like she said, she didn't see anyone angry or upset. And the fact that Katie and Ariana were able to, take pictures and talk with the fans that couldn't get any sandwiches that day, I believe meant a whole lot to them. And it shows their just business effort, that they want this, that they will do anything, and that they're humble human beings that understand that, they couldn't predict this to happen, but they could do what they could do best. And that's going and thanking everybody for being there and just showing their support. That's what matters. All right, let's continue with the podcast, though.
Maybe a little messy, please. Like, she doesn't choose violence as much as we do, but like in as nice way as you want to. Was it not just like a little satisfying in terms of the people who have been annoying as fuck for the entire year or two this has been going on?
Somewhat, but those people in particular have now just moved the goalpost.
Meaning what?
In terms of like what they're gonna say or hate on or whatever. Like they've got those people in particular, the real diehard trolls. They've moved the goalpost to it's not going to last, or they've moved the goalpost to
let's see how long it lasts.
Like
Good.
things like that. You know what I mean?
Great, they got it open, but let's see how long it lasts. Oh yeah, like
right.
they were turning people. They're just not. That's what I mean. When people want to hate, they're going to hate on anything. They're going to find things to hate on, and it's just.
It was never really about that thing.
Yeah.
Initially, it's just now it's about trying to find something else.
Yeah.
It's like that when people are like, they can never make me hate you. It's like some people are just like, they could never make me not hate you.
They could never make me not hate you.
Yeah, they're like, that's what they're gonna do.
You could save 50 babies from a burning building, and they're like, don't you think she could have gotten 51?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, and those people are
probably
probably
wasn't actually on fire.
And those people are probably never going to come in.
Right.
I don't think I'll ever meet those people anyway, so I don't care.
Go to Subway. And I don't want to like give it too much air, but it's been frustrating as someone who loves you both and knows the vision and behind closed doors, knows what you guys have gone through to get this off the ground. I'm like, I'm reposting, I'm hearting, I'm liking, I'm commenting, I'm subscribing. It's great. But I'm glad you guys are a bigger person than me.
I'm glad that you're
not.
Great. Yeah. No, of course it's validating. Of course it's vindicating to be like, to put two fingers up and be like, told you so. But I wasn't for those people. It was for the people that were going to come in and eventually love. It was for us. It was for everybody that wants to come and eat sandwiches. It wasn't for the haters.
Totally.
Of course.
It seems like you guys felt the love, and I hope you did.
Yeah.
It wasn't just from what seemed to be in person, but also just online. Like collectively, people are so excited about it.
We got some like really great reviews from people who, are not easy to impress. The Eater LA review was incredible. And that was one I was like really nervous about just because they were very honest. And so that felt really nice to be like, feel seen. My favorite sandwich place in New York is one that has, I think they have like 2 or 3 sandwiches basically like on the menu. And sometimes it's like 12:30 and they're like, we're closed, we're sold out. I'm like,
and I get it, but I hate it.
I get, but I always feel like not cool, but I feel like, see, and that's why I got my sandwich at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, that's just what it is, I guess,
When you're a smaller place, hey.
You can only, again, we have a tiny kitchen, therefore we can only have so many bodies back there on the line making sandwiches. We can only prep so much. you know, in the time that they have to do it. There's only so much that we can do, even if they prepped for a week. That's going to go in a day if we try to like beat all of the line, you know, that's, you know, so we have to just be able to accommodate what we can do in a day the night before.
And they're so right. Haters will always hate. They'll always find something else to hate on. And I have seen these trolls moving the goalpost and talking shit since they've opened it, because that's all they have in their life, is just to keep on hating, finding something new to hate on. If someone that they don't like succeeds in an area that they didn't want them to succeed, it happens. It happens a lot more than people realize. Even me as a small channel, I get it all the time. But that's how it is. I will say I've seen a lot of reviews. Some of them I did put in with the article that just didn't have sound, but you guys can go check out those IG pages and see the different reviews. There is one review that I would love for you guys to check out, and I'm going to put it after this. And there's also someone that, let's just say, I really had faith that maybe she was just hormonal and going through something, but even just her reaction to finding out that the sandwich shop was opened and someone asking her if she was gonna go, it just didn't sit well with me. And a lot of people have been saying this is how Lala is, and I think it's showing more and more, and it just makes me question everything that I thought I knew about Lala. Even like when she was like, oh, I'm a girl's girl, and now she's claiming she's not. There's just so much, and we're not going to get into the Lala stuff, but I do want to show you a clip from her Amazon Live that she recently did, which I did also record, and we'll be putting that out as well. But she was asked, are you going to go to the sandwich shop now that's opened? So I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but let's check out the review and the clip from Lala's Amazon Live.
I tried the new Vanderpump Rules sandwich shop in WeHo, and here's my honest review. Something About Her comes from VPR cast members Ariana Madix and Katie Maloney, and boasts a Nancy Meyers-inspired space that was actually designed by her set designer, and sandwiches named after women in film. I braved the crazy lines to find out if they're actually any good or if it's all just reality show hype. The first sandwich I tried is the Viola, which is a smoked turkey melt with red peppers and a homemade balsamic onion marmalade, and allegedly also cucumber, which was mysteriously absent from my sandwich, though I chalked that up to opening week growing pains. Even so, this sandwich was so freaking good. It was warm and comforting, and the kind of sandwich that would go great with a tomato soup, and the sweet yet acidic flavor from the onion marmalade really made it stand out.
The crunch, it's sweet and savory, it's creamy, really good.
Next, I tried their most popular sandwich, the Cameron. This is a take on a classic Italian with cold cuts like salami, sopressata, and mortadella, along with some cheese, tomatoes, and pepperoncini. It was a lot lighter and fresher tasting than I expected, and the pesto garlic aioli was great, but to be honest, this sandwich didn't really stand out to me. Finally, I tried the Drew, which has the most unique ingredients on the menu like whipped chive-infused goat cheese, mango jalapeno jam, and even shaved pink lady apple. There's definitely a lot going on in this sandwich, which might not be for everyone, but oh my god, this sandwich was so good, it isn't fair to the other sandwiches.
This is the best sandwich. Get this one.
So I'm super happy to report that though they are on the pricey side, Something About Her is actually serving some damn good sandwiches.
That's actually really good.
Elizabeth, are you going to visit Something About Her now that it's open? Oh my gosh, it's open. I love that for them. I don't really go into West Hollywood that much. It's kind of a trek. I don't really leave my house that much.
But if we're in the area, we'll give it a shot.
I'll go get us some sandwiches. If I'm in the area.
I
mean, the sandwiches slap.
They look amazing.
By the way, the moment they're on like Postmates or Grubhub, I will be something abouting her.
All day, every day.
Oh,
on the reg.
There'll be something about her in this house.
Okay, girls, we have so much to talk
I
about.
know. Can I share one thing that I saw this morning that was kind of disturbing that I was completely unaware of?
Yes.
On our favorite
Home and Gardens.
TikTok. This is just like purely anecdotal, but like somehow I was on Tan Talk, and this guy that worked at a tanning salon, and he was like, I worked there for a really long time, and he's like, apparently like shitting in tanning beds is like a big thing, or they shit in the The
What?
trash cans.
What?
And people were in the comments like, oh yeah, no, I work at a tanning salon. Like people like are shitting in the
What?
the trash cans. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, this woman shit in the tanning bed. And he's like, there was corn in it. All right, this is so gross.
Wait.
He's like, yeah, and the beds.
Like when they're laying there tanning,
Yeah.
they just have a
What,
poopy?
they have
You're only in there for 20 minutes max.
Yeah.
you get the tingle lotion on your butthole and you just lose your faculties. Like, what is actually happening?
I'm so
Yeah.
confused. And then the the trash basket for
Why
like your
It's
your like bonnet or whatever the hell. Oh, I
like
guess that's for
people, it's
spray
like,
tan.
it's like, again, yeah, you're only in there for a short amount of time. I can't imagine it being
like
that much
legally
of an
you
emer-
can't be in there for longer than 20 minutes, I think.
Right.
So what would your guys' speculation be as to why someone would do that? Like, do you think it's something more of like a kink, or like someone they just got to go?
It
Lay a
can't be,
space
it's
right
that
now.
common, right? Because like
the fact that it's that common, I don't know.
What do you think it is?
I'm curious
plus
myself.
also
I'm like,
the
what?
beds are like there's like you're laying on like a plastic like
So do they do it like at the end? Do they do it in the middle and just like hang out?
lay
for a while?
around.
Like I don't know.
Was it
And then
I
it's-
have to imagine if they're not actually laying down, it's just shooting out. I think if I'm a betting woman, and not that I've like done this, but they're like getting up and like squatting over the bed and doing it, or into the basket. It
no,
has.
they're squatting into they're not laying down and they're like
well,
think like, oh, that was not a dude.
Well, in terms of
it was like they just like trust a fart and then.
thanks for saying toot.
Yeah. Sorry, you don't like the word fart?
Yeah, I hate that word.
Sorry. Okay. He said that there was this one woman that was peeing and then like using the towel to like wipe it up, or peeing on the towel, and then she like threw it by the bed. And he said this went on for years.
Same person.
So this
Yes.
so this person would go to the tanning salon, not use the restroom, and then just like go into the little room and just use that as like her bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with
I don't
that?
know. He's like, these tanning salon patrons are cooked. Literally.
Literally.
Like their brain is like cooked or something from the bulbs. I don't know.
I mean,
in my
the
mind,
fact that they're still using tanning beds, I would say yes, their brain is cooked.
correct. I don't know. In my mind, it's like, if I'm like, if I'm gonna be laying here and if I like think I might need to relieve myself beforehand, like use the bathroom before. They have bathrooms there. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. I don't know.
Also,
Crazy.
I feel like the like nicer tanning beds or
God.
higher levels are usually less than 20 minutes. It's like the old shitty ones that people go up to 20.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna maybe do more of an average of like 15 minutes. Hot girls have tummy issues.
Mhm.
I have never been in a situation in my life where I've almost shit a tanning bed. So
Never.
like there's a bathroom down the hall.
Yeah.
So for me, it registers as something that's freakier.
I
like,
can-
they
yeah.
get off on doing it.
No, literally.
Like toot and tanning bed.
I can count on one hand the amount of times it's been like a dire emergency situation. And it's never been in a tanning bed. It's never been anywhere there wasn't a bathroom out within
Yeah.
10 feet. It's been like you're in a car, driving, road trip. It's like one of those situations
Yeah.
where you like really
I've had
like
like 5 this
overestimated
morning.
yourself.
But yeah, as someone who has like a fair amount of like, I need to go to potty now. I'm like, still, I've never almost shit in a tanning bed or like or a basket of any kind. I don't know.
No
I'm just like,
basket. No basket. Let's say emergency situation. It goes out. It happens. I would be destroying the evidence of that
oh my
so
God.
hard. I'd be like, oh, excuse me, I'm not done in the room. I would like the lengths that I would go to so that no one knew that happened.
I'd be like sneaking out looking for their cleaning supplies.
Oh, yes. I would be like, they'd be like, are you
Absolutely.
done? I'd be like, oh, so sorry. I'm not quite finished. Meanwhile, I'm like,
Also think about this. The beds get hot.
yeah.
Like the surface
Oh,
get like
God.
it gets like warm. So it's like cooking that. Sorry.
Warm
I'm sorry.
shit.
I'm sorry to like put this on you, but it needed
Trigger
to get,
warning added in.
trigger warning.
Yeah.
You guys,
Okay. Never have I ever heard that happening. And I was a tan bed user for many years, and honestly, I kind of prefer the beds because it's like a meditation kind of. I relax and lay and I'm warm and it feels nice. So if I was to choose like a bed, I would totally still tan in a tanning bed, though. Like, I do understand like airbrushing is like the new thing. I'm still like old school, but never have I ever even heard from friends that worked at tanning salons that happened. But I've never even asked of like, what's the weirdest thing that's happened to you? Like, never. I don't know. So gross. I swear, if any of you have heard of this before, you need to let me know down below. That is so insane. That is crazy. Who does that? Who does that? Like they said, there's a bathroom down the hall. Why wouldn't you just use the bathroom down the hall? I get like you're naked and like you gotta throw on clothes real fast and like hustle to the bathroom, but like Katie even said, I've never been in a dire situation like that where it was like where I couldn't get to a bathroom in time. Unless like it's on a road trip or something like that. But even then, I'm still stopping to find a bathroom. Like, no. Nope. I'm sorry if you are one of those people, but if you are, please anonymously tell us why you do that. Because we're all very curious, because that's just not normal. And I'm not trying to hate on you if you do this. It's just not a normal thing to do. I think that you might want to check that problem out if you are someone shitting in a basket in a tanning salon. Oh my gosh. I gotta find this on TikTok now. This is what this podcast does to me. It intrigues me with the weirdest shit, literally the weirdest shit. And then I'm like, I gotta go on TikTok and see what the hell they're watching. Damn. All right, let's get back into it.
This is our 21st episode, and if I'm not a mathematician, but at this point, the amount of episodes we've ended up talking about fecal matter, we're probably at 10% of all episodes, which is crazy. I don't know why this keeps coming out, but
10%, so twice,
but
2.5 times, 2.1.
Oh no, then I'm bad at math, so like 20% then, because we've several episodes. But
So
I mean, that's horrifying.
I haven't been in a tanning bed in I couldn't tell you like literal years, but I will never be going in a tanning bed.
Not even, well, PSA, nobody should go in.
No
tanning
one
beds.
should, but like if this doesn't put the fear of God in you, do not use a tanning bed.
If it's not melanoma, let it be the possibility of laying in shit.
Let it be some other type of like skin infection from someone's poop.
Pink eye.
Pink eye. Couldn't you get like some kind of ringworm adjacent thing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
And you know, you see them in there, and I'm sure there are a lot of tanning salon people that take pride in their jobs and like really do a thorough rub down. But it's the same thing in my Pilates studio.
Also, they're high school kids.
I think about this, they just do like this. I think about it every time when we're wiping the machines and they like only give me one towelette instead of two, and I like really get in everything that I touch. But I'm like, even with this, how often do these really get cleaned? Like a thorough cleaning? Do you think it's daily? Probably not. Like a full disinfectant by someone who works at the studio?
No.
Probably not. Just try not to think about it and go about my life. But
because the people who worked at like tanning salons when I went back in the day, it was like someone in high school or college who was like, do you want the sparkle lotion? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like their parents owned it and then they just like needed a job for the summer.
I think I used one that said like Diva Dark.
Yeah.
And it definitely had.
Do you want a sticker? The Playboy
sticker.
Wait, can we bring those back?
I was just about to ask, what was your sticker of choice? Mine was the Playboy bunny.
Mine was either the Playboy or the outline of
the heart.
The heart of the Playboy bunny.
Outline of the heart was so kind. Like I love it.
You guys, we could bring that back with spray tans.
With spray tans. Should we start the revolution?
I want to put it right here.
Yeah, that was where you always put it. Because when you got out, you had to like test the darkness.
Yeah.
You just see your skin cancer forming.
I'll be healing my inner teenager.
That one chick who keeps going back and she's amazing, but her content is really triggering for me, that she's doing all the like millennial fads that are coming back around, like the layered of the tank tops and like Gen Z's like discovering all this shit.
Some of them are getting a little like crazy.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to bring everything back. Not everything was
coming. Is my point though. Like that is next, and that's
we can allow.
Like True Religion with the white stitching.
I'm trying to think
the
of
bedazzled pocket flap.
The tops that had like little like puckers everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait.
That you can go like this.
Those are at Target right now, apparently.
The balloons that were like this. They
look like little tiny boobs.
But they were. I only saw those sold.
Horrible.
Those were only sold at like kiosks or like in the middle of the night.
Did you see Dua Lipa wearing the like? Remember the flats that were like basket weave?
Yeah, I love those.
Do you mean Dua Lipa
with like the little
flowers
that you used to get off the street? Yeah.
Yeah, but
but now they're like designer.
Okay, but those cost $2.
Yeah.
And you wore those one time and they broke.
Yeah.
Like
correct.
Designer my ass.
Oh God.
Okay, well this is one that I can get on board with, so perhaps we should start it.
Yeah.
Oh, the sticker
or the heart.
The sticker for the tan.
No, let's literally do it. I'll like buy some on Amazon and then we can all do it.
Yes.
Now, I could totally get on board too with the sticker and then putting it on right before you go tanning or spray tan, whatever you do. Even if it's just tanning outside, though, that's not really good for you either. I know all about melanoma. I do. But totally on board for that. I think my favorite was also the Playboy bunny or the heart. There were a couple other ones like this. I did the star a couple times, but that was totally like the thing. I don't even know if they do that anymore at the tanning salon. And yes, we still got tanning salons with beds, which I'll say this. I always cleaned the bed, but even knowing that they cleaned it before me, and if I ever do go tanning again, I'm bringing like Clorox bleach to bleach it before I ever get in another one again, especially like those Planet Fitness ones, which, listen, I don't have a membership to Planet Fitness, but if you are tanning at Planet Fitness, you best be sterilizing those beds. God help us. Who knows whose fecal matter has been on it? Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it anymore. These girls are killing me. But I want to know too, what is one trend that you would bring back from back in the day? As I sit here and try to think what trend I would pick. I mean, because pretty much all of the trends that I would pick have already come back around. Like, I know like Crocs are a big thing. That was big though for me when I was getting out of dental school. And like literally my sister-in-law bought me a pair of Crocs for Christmas. And I think I've worn them twice. Though I love them, I think I've only worn them twice. And like the butterfly clips, I see girls all the time with butterfly clips. All the little girls at school have butterfly clips. They're so cute. Like, I totally dig those. I would totally bring those back. Like, and they're back already. So it's like all the things that I would kind of pick to bring back, they've kind of already been brought back, kind of a thing. Let me know down below. I can't think of anything at the moment. Even scrunchies, they brought those back. They found out those were better for your hair, which we knew that. See what I mean? So, what would I pick? You guys gotta help me there.
Whoever got the dolphin?
I'm from Florida. I feel like there was probably a lot of dolphins going on.
In Florida, there's a lot of
I was going to say, little Miss Melanoma.
Miss Melanoma.
That's my little, like,
20,
little
what year?
cartoon things. Oh.
Miss Melanoma.
We're gonna put you in the back of a Camaro. Is that
just the word melanoma just like across?
To cover this color? Yours is right there. So
I feel like I gotta go the other way.
You have to leave it
you
out.
can't
like,
cover
really,
it.
Yeah.
To let her have her moment.
Not the
Hi. Help.
You could bedazzle. Do like a little body glitter.
Yeah.
Body glitter should come back.
I could get stoned.
Oh, body glitter. Did she ever leave?
Not really,
I
but
like
like,
she took new
but we
forms.
did it. We had it like in the
Chunky.
roll-on.
And we had it drugstore. It was LA
Pots.
Styles gel with glitter in it. Okay. It
Yeah.
wasn't, it was like it took form and had solid, like could do the robot and then would get back in the pot and you rubbed it on your body. Kids
Yes.
today
It
don't
could,
know.
like, it had
They don't know.
peaks in it, you know?
Yeah.
And it smelled weird.
Kind of chemical smell.
Well, I didn't call you Little Miss Melanoma for
Flammable.
nothing.
Yes.
I'm just curious because how much did you tan? Like in terms of that happening to you, do you think that was like because you were a Floridian and grew up in the time where it was like people didn't care as much, or was it because you were tanning or both? Like what do you think happened?
I think it was probably a combination, but I was tanning a lot. I would get the month or the week unlimited.
How old were you when you started tanning?
Well, I was a child when I was like tanning at the beach, just laying out in the sun at the beach and being outside.
I mean, in beds.
In beds, I was in high school, and everyone was doing it, and it was very cool to be tan and very uncool to not be tan. So I wanted to be very tan, and I did. I would get very, very tan. I never sunburned ever, so I was like, I'm not sunburned. Obviously, that means I'm like
Yeah, we thought that was
immune.
the marker.
I
of,
never burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just get really tan. So I would go like in the summers, if I didn't have like cheer practice or something, like I would go to the beach in the morning. I would like lay out with baby oil. If you mix but don't do this, but I would mix baby oil with Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola had that like the color of it would like help like bronze and stuff.
So you were just like a sticky little hamster? I'm so confused.
I
Is
was
that not
a
the stickiest fucking thing you've ever experienced?
Then I would get in the water, and then the salt water also like when you're in the water helps like
Etch off a layer of your dermis.
Yeah, so I was tanning. It was the baby oil, it was the Coca-Cola, it was the salt water, and then I would like throughout that same week, I would also go to the tanning bed, and I would lay in there for 20 minutes every time.
Good Lord.
Oh my
You were
God.
just
I'd be like, I want
cooking
max.
yourself.
I was cooking myself. If I was to show you pictures of me, you'd be like, I was very, very tan. I used to joke that I was like, all right, guys, I'd be like, I'm off to go give myself
Skin cancer.
dude. And then literally, no, the universe was like, hey, fuck you. You actually are.
We heard your manifestations.
Yeah, I literally.
You're so powerful. Your mind.
Be careful what you manifest for.
Yeah,
folks.
so,
No.
but I was lucky that it wasn't worse given
Oh,
my
God.
history.
So I do want to correct myself. I do not have melanoma. I always get these two things confused. Sunspots and hyperpigmentation and melanoma confused. I have the hyperpigmentation and sunspots. And I actually learned this from Lala. God damn it, Lala. This is why I want to love you, but I hate you. Anyways, she actually had sunspots and hyperpigmentation, and she went to a dermatologist where they did the microneedling. And what the microneedling does is it causes what they say like an injury to your skin. So your skin's thinking that it's injured, so it heals faster and it takes away that hyperpigmentation and the sunspots. I actually have my own microneedling stuff. I could do it myself, but I think my best bet too would be to go to a dermatologist and see what they can do for me. If this is something that you have suffered from, or you have gone to see a dermatologist or had something done about it, I would love to know more down below. It's something that I should have been wearing sunscreen. This is like everyone says this at like our age. I should have been wearing sunscreen all this time. Yeah, I should have been wearing sunscreen. I got it like 2 years ago, and then it just started getting worse. So I have now committed to putting sunscreen on daily before I even go outside, in hopes that helps. But I do know that I need to go see a dermatologist or try this microneedling that I have at home and see how that works for myself. I'll also say I was one of those girlies too, like Ariana, where it was the cool thing to do was to tan, and I went to the tanning beds. I hung out at the beach with my friends. I live on the water, so, the beach is like my backyard. So, tanning was the thing to do. One thing though, and don't try this at home either, is one of the, girls used to use all the time, and I never got it, but they would use motor oil as a baby oil instead for tanning. I get where it's kind of like the same thing as the Coca-Cola, where it's like the same color as the tan, so it helps, I guess. I don't know. I would never do it. I suggest not doing it, and I am not a doctor, so don't take my word on everything that I say about the microneedling. It's something that I learned from Lala, and then I looked up myself, and if that is something that you're suffering from, I would suggest you look it up and ask a dermatologist, just like I need to as well. But I am curious if anyone has had it done. Let me know how it went. I would love to know more about the procedure and what you've done to help with the sunspots and the hyperpigmentation, even the melanoma. Though melanoma is something that comes and can be cancerous. I know all about it, but anyways, let's get back to this.
My mom grew up in Florida, as you know, and obviously was mom age, so it was even worse for them. So baby oil, the whole nine. Moved to Seattle when she was 23, had horrible seasonal depression because she could not handle it. So she did a tanning bed every day until she was in her 40s. And she had basal cell, which, I mean, it's not the one that eventually capped her ass, but it was a different, it wasn't malignant. But because of that, we were not allowed to tan. And I'm very fair skinned, but I can get tan similarly, but I usually burn. So when I went to college, I went to a small college town in bumfuck nowhere, Washington. And there was a tanning salon there. So all the sorority girls, we would all go and get her. It was $20 for a month, unlimited. And they were the bad beds. The photos of us when it was, I shit you not, negative 10 degrees in February of my skin color, all of us, a group of 10 girls that are so falsely tan in our white ass teeth.
There's also the bronzer era too. So you're adding on.
Yeah.
I was like, who got ready and then looked in the mirror and was like, totally looked the part, and just whipped around and went to a party. Crazy.
2001 Y2K era was wild.
Were you
you're looking at Britney Spears and you're oh God, I want to look like that.
I would go to the tanning bed before it's school dance or something, or before spring break. But I didn't go habitually, no. I mean, it just wasn't something I could keep up with, or I don't know. It just was, it felt very, and I was in Utah too, so.
Maybe that's why your skin is so good. It's full of secrets.
No, I'm still self-conscious about being pale.
I am too, but this is Sally Hansen.
But I'm also I've always been also very blotchy. You could, I feel like my skin is see-through, so that doesn't help. If I could just be pale, but even toned, I think I would feel better about it.
My skin, it looks purple when it's its natural color because it's so translucent and
literally, I have no.
I look like a chicken.
If you were to pull the feathers off of a chicken,
stick in the basement. That's
uncooked naked chicken is what my skin looks like.
I'm unseasoned.
Oh my God. But I'm 50 SPF.
I was really into
now.
I was really into sun in the hair.
Same.
What's that? What is that? Is it light?
You never used sun in?
What?
Bring it back.
I literally have no idea what that is. I mean, we use lemons.
Okay, it's that.
Similar effect, but
So you would just spray it in your hair and it would like the sun. I don't know what was in it.
What color is that? What you did in season whatever of Vanderpump Rules and you had blonde hair?
No, obviously not.
What color did that shit make your hair?
sun-kissed. Yeah, did it work on
Okay.
yours?
When I was younger, my hair was actually kind of lighter.
I've seen
That makes
pictures of
sense.
you. Your hair was like a lighter shade.
Yeah, it's like just as I've gotten older, it's gotten darker.
Same.
Like, I don't know, it's
What was that
fun.
giggle?
I'm just laughing because no, in the summertime, I was outside all day, every day, like never came inside, didn't wear shoes, so I would put sun in my hair too.
Mhm.
I think that helped.
I'm gonna get you some.
Okay, because
I'm sure Alyssa will love it.
I'm sure she will.
Crazy enough, I was at like CVS the other day and I totally saw Sun-In. I don't know if it was like the same brand as back in the day, but it was totally on the shelf. And I even looked at it like, oh my God, I remember this stuff. I even considered buying it and then I was like, no. It never turned out well. So, no. But they do have it. I don't know, like I said, if it's like a new company or whatever, but I did see it at CVS. So, Dana, you might want to try some, or Ariana, buy it for Dana. She might like it. That's like a nostalgic thing that they're bringing back, maybe? I don't know. Everything always comes back into trend. And that is true. And I've heard that said my whole life. And here we are. Sun-In's back on the shelves.
Your hair is probably like a level lighter than mine, but we have similar, like, born lighter. And then very few blondes are naturally this color. So yes, I bleach my hair, but like,
Yeah, this is grown out for like almost a year. So this is whatever it is natural
yeah.
at this point. I mean, you can probably see where maybe we're like, I don't know, something
is natural
starts.
to
I mean,
me.
I feel
highlights
like this
previously.
is for me like 2 months, but
My
yeah,
highlights are
this
just
is,
like gray strands now.
Cute.
So
Hot.
it's giving. Is it the Cruelle de Vil special?
yeah, it's giving bruja witch vibes.
Love it.
I forgot the cauldron. I meant to bring it in for this episode. In the trunk of my car.
The cauldron.
Just kidding. A cauldron. For us to do
Oh, I
our
thought you meant like the
rehearsal.
movie. Like you were bringing in like a DVD, Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. I meant more to like
Stir
Oh.
the
to stir
pot.
shit up.
Oh, just stir the
Speaking of
pot.
stirring the pot, when this airs, it'll be the day after, I think, the last part of the reunion.
Mhm.
Is there anything you care to talk about from the reunion or even this season? Like, I'm asking because I know it's not something you typically like to talk about, but people are going to want us to at least ask. So, like, is there anything that you want to clarify, say, just smile from the reunion?
Just kidding. From the reunion
Or the season
no,
in general?
Well, there's
like,
actually
any,
some
any of it.
people who were like, "Oh, I wish that she would have watched the whole season because then she would have been coming in guns blazing with this person or that person." And the thing is that I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I saw plenty of clips online.
But I still feel like there
saw-
was some stuff that you didn't see, or if like seeing just
Yeah.
it in a whole would have maybe.
I feel like
Chase? I don't
I mean,
know.
listen, I went there, I flew in, stayed at Katie's, and then literally got on a plane that night after the reunion to fly back and do 2 shows the next day. You know, I was doing my best to show up, but at the same time, it was like, I don't have that strong of feelings about, like, I don't think it would have changed anything about like how I responded to things.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't really think about what people are doing when the reunion is being filmed. And that was something that I had known that she was doing Chicago. A lot of us knew her contract did get extended and she was there for longer than she planned. But it's like when they were saying like, oh, I'm disappointed she didn't watch the season. She didn't have time to watch the season. That was the other thing. She was literally doing Chicago sometimes twice a night and then would be rehearsing and practicing and doing vocal lessons, all of that throughout the day right before she had a show. She didn't have time to just sit back and relax and watch Vanderpump. And I don't blame her. She lived it. So it's like, she didn't really need to know what happened because she lived it. The only thing that's different than actually living it is that you see what other people are saying about you when you're not around or in confessionals. And that can be really hurtful. I know this. I don't watch videos that people make on me. And it's why? Because I don't need it. If I see it, then I can get angry, I can get upset. It just isn't worth it. It's a much easier time. It's a much better life that way. And they don't know me, so let them say whatever they want. because they don't know who I am. And it's the same with Ariana. She lived it. She knew what she said. She wasn't going to, like, say, oh, no, I didn't say that. Like, I just think she would have been surprised by what a lot of the people had said. I know she had already heard the comment about the backup dancer, because someone had questioned her about that. And like she said, she saw clips all season. She knew what Lala said at the finale episode. That was played throughout the whole trailer all season. So I just think that when people said that, it was like, you have to take in consideration what she was doing. You know, a lot of people like to call her lazy, and Ariana is far from it. Far from it. Does she like to sleep? Hell yeah. But who doesn't like to sleep? And even at the finale, when Sandoval called her lazy, oh, I wanted to just, because she, again, is doing way more than he's ever done. Like, now she's going to go start filming Love Island. Like, please. She is far from lazy. And that's the one thing that they all like to say. And it's like, why? Why? She was even bussing tables, bringing out food. She was doing it all. So, you know, whatever. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that she should have watched more of Vanderpump this season before the reunion? Do you think it matters? Let me know down below.
Because I also was like, I really like don't feel, even like if I feel deeply about something, I mean, which you do see me talk about the things I felt strongly about, but other stuff I'm like, am I really going to sit there and like correct every little lie, interject the whole, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
kinda like, if
it
they
feels
wanna
like a
think
losing
that-
battle.
Yeah, I'm at a point now, I feel like something that's changed for me as a person over my almost 39 years is I've become a little bit like, what you say about me, you can think that, I don't care. Because like, it doesn't change my life, or it doesn't change who I am if you think that about me, especially if you're not a part of my life really on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So it's like most of like what's being said, like I could sit there and I could correct it and I could be like, actually no, and like get into it. But it's like, for what? For who? Who would I be doing that for? So I was like,
Yeah, I feel that.
I had to stop. I loved that. That is so important to just even remember and think about, because it's so true. What people think about you, don't let it affect you. There's no need. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change your life. So why does it matter? I love that. I gotta add that to the list of things that Ariana has said that has made complete sense, unlike some of the things that Rachel has said. Damn, I had to be petty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there anything else for you, like in the same breath?
I mean, I feel like when it's at the reunion, I don't like to sit and scream and yell, especially if like you're not gonna let me talk, you're not gonna let me finish, you're not gonna let me answer, then what's the point? You know, if I was gonna bring up 3 different instances that happened over the course of a year and a half that aren't necessarily related to one another and give me whiplash, I'm gonna try to answer, and then I have Tom Schwartz trying to talk to me and Scheana trying to talk to me, and I'm like, which one are we starting with? Because none of this has anything to do with, and all of it's only being brought up to try to make me look like a shitty person. It just felt like, so I was just kind of like, you know what, fuck this. I hated the ending of it all. I hated that they waited to show us that 5 minutes, because I was like, this feels mean, and it's just mean towards Ariana. Like that wasn't for any of us. Like there was nothing shocking in it for any of us. It was only mean towards one person.
What were your thoughts on that, of like them doing that, of waiting until the end of the reunion to show you guys the last few minutes? And by the way, I said before that when you were like, I know what's going to happen this season, they're going to try and give me a bad arc and like give Tom this redemption, whatever. And I was like, I don't really see that. Like maybe a little bit. You were so fucking right. And like they didn't do a good job of it. It was ridiculous. But
no, they didn't.
No, they thought they ate several times, and I was like, oh, that didn't land.
Did not do what they thought.
But when that happened, like, what were you thinking? Like, as you're watching it, and after you left the reunion, did it really settle in more that, like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, you see me mouth, like, what the fuck? I think to Scheana, which was literally like, oh, so this is what they're doing. This is why they said, like, oh, you guys don't have, because when they emailed the episodes, they're like, you'll notice that you don't have da-da-da. But then they didn't really say why. And so I was like, oh, so it felt like, honestly, I agree with you. It felt very pointed towards me. It felt like, well, we have her trapped in this room now. So we didn't get what we wanted to get, this like some sort of tearful, whatever the hell. We didn't get to break her down IRL in the moment. So we're going to retaliate by doing that right now in a place where she's contractually obligated to be here and try to force this moment now.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, I cried. You guys happy now?
So my thing with like the last 10 minutes showing them at the reunion, I mean, it wasn't like it was all that interesting. Like, I see where they're coming from, where they only did it and the only person that was going to get hurt by it was Ariana. And I did make a comment already about Tom and how, like, he loved it. And it's like, yeah, you love this shit. You love when people are miserable. And right there, even more shows me that you are a narcissist. When Schwartz is like, I hate this shit, and you're saying you love it. Ugh. And I think that even with, like, the preview of seeing Lala all season say what she said about Ariana, it's not like that was a big surprise either, because that was already said. It was already aired. We had been seeing it throughout the trailers and all of that, so it wasn't something new. I mean, what he even said when she walked away, calling her lazy, I've already commented on that. Like, I think he's a douchebag for that. And out of all of them, she's the one that's not the laziest at all anymore. Like, even before she wasn't the laziest. But it's like, I didn't really understand why they did that. It wasn't anything spectacular. Honestly, I thought they were going to show us 10 extra minutes that we hadn't seen either. That would have been cool. But it's like, no, they didn't. I could see where it's kind of like a shocker for maybe Ariana, because they also knew she had said several times that she wasn't going to watch the season or have time to watch the season. So maybe that's why they did that. But it definitely could have been done, yes, to hurt Ariana. And like she said, she was in an obligated contract to be there at the reunion. So let's make her watch this and get a reaction and see what happens. And they got her to cry. Like, she didn't like lash out at Lala or lash out at anybody else. Maybe that's what they were looking for. We do know that the producers are little sneaky bitches, so it's very possible that's what they were trying to go for. And clearly they know them better than we do. So I kind of believe when she says that's what they were maybe trying to do, that's probably what their thought process was. But of course, I want to know what you guys thought about them showing the cast the last 10 minutes that they didn't give them beforehand, kind of thing. Do you think that was interesting? Do you think that maybe it should have been 10 minutes that we didn't see either and we all saw it at the same time, kind of a thing? Why do you think they did it? I want to know all your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it just felt mean. It didn't affect me. It didn't affect anyone else in the way that it was going to affect her. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. And honestly, here's the thing that's so stupid. I gave them the best fucking ending to what that season could have had in that moment by leaving.
Because it was real.
It was real and it was exciting to watch. Sorry, if you literally are only looking at it from a perspective of like good reality TV, I gave you good reality TV.
Yeah.
Standing there, you know what I mean? That this like conversation that was like being this like fake thing that manufactured, yeah, thing that was like wanting to be had would have been a boring cap to a boring ass season, to be honest.
Alternative to everything that anyone was saying of just like being authentic, talk about, I'm like,
there's authenticity right
the
here.
The authenticity is always there. I don't have fake fights. I don't create drama.
Well, I did have one sort of fake fight.
Well, I don't make, but the thing is, I don't make a good show. I just am honest about what's happening in my life in that moment. I'm not like, oh, let me rehash a fight or a feeling that I had 6 months ago, because that would be a really good TV moment. It's like, well, too bad we weren't filming back then.
Right.
But like what's happening right now, you know, it's like I'm down to like show it all. What's happening right now. It's like, if you don't want to show it, if you're not going to air it, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. If there was like a situation where we're like, look, me and you are in on this together and we're going to kind of like lean into certain things to like, you know, make it a little bit more fun, that's fine. But as far as like real life stuff, that's always been real and authentic for me, and I can't fake that. And so when I'm being told to like, I'm like, what did I not show you? I showed you my like storage unit of a fucking bedroom. I showed you like how if you watch the season and you don't see that how low I am during the whole time, like you need glasses. Like I showed all of that stuff. And if there's stuff that they filmed and then decided not to air, that has nothing to do with me. But I gave it all.
Yeah.
I even had to like convince Dan to film FaceTimes. He was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, well, please.
What were they expecting to happen? Like, okay, so you guys 6 months after your partner of 10 years does this horrific thing to you, you're going to sit down with him at the season finale and hold hands and be like, I do know the real you and this is great.
Or they wanted Kristen Miami conversation redux, like 2.0.
A tearful apology from Tom Sandoval.
But that's the thing is like the tearful apology is the 2 seconds later turn on it. That's why it's never a thing. Cause like there is no, it's like two seconds after that, it turns on a dime. So you can't ever trust it anyway. So what's the point in having it?
And that is what I didn't get, is why they kept saying that Ariana wasn't being real. That by them doing certain things, it wouldn't make it real. And more Lala saying it, of course. But it's like, no, that was what was real about it. Tom going and trying to apologize to her on the last episode to have this heart-to-heart with her, which I do agree with her. It would have been like the Miami Kristen and Tom last dinner. No, we didn't need that. Ariana stood her ground, and when she said that she wasn't going to talk to him, she did. And she also made a solid point, too, that he only wanted to do it when the cameras were on. He could have, at any point, wrote a letter, left it in the kitchen, and he chose not to. He can make all of the excuses in the world, but that is, like, that is who he is. He will do anything for the show, to have a show, to make himself look like the better person. But it's the other things that we hear that, like, he doesn't broadcast. Like, no, they don't talk at the house. And everyone's like, oh, but you're living with him, so why can't you, be in the same room as him at this event? Because even though they live together, well, not anymore, thank God, they weren't seeing each other. They weren't communicating with each other. They weren't talking to each other at all. They had people that they would go between. Well, Anne is the main one. They would go between Anne on who was doing this and what, so they didn't have to see each other. That is what she wanted. That was her being authentic. Her walking away, not wanting to hear his bullshit apology, was real. And I agree with Katie. It's like, why are you going to rehash something that happened when you weren't filming just to do it now you are filming to make for good TV? No, there's no reason to rehash that stuff. That's not being real in the moment. And I completely agree with her on that. But I do want to know what this made up fight is that Ariana had for the cameras. She doesn't say it here, but I can speculate. We can all speculate. Take your guesses down below. Now I gotta think about this.
And then the other thing about Dan is it's very frustrating to me. Hi, Dan. Is Carl listening?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, miss you. The other thing about it is people point that out as if it gives reason for you to have moved on and like, fuck you, you're dating someone. Why aren't you over it? Again, it was 6 months later. It doesn't matter that you didn't put your life on hold.
Right, and being over that person romantically does not mean that you're over like the
mind
stuff that you went
trauma
through. Yeah, exactly. And still going through because I'm still having to deal with like all of it. Like I haven't been there since September. I'm still having to deal with it.
Well, and when people are like, she's dating someone and she was still living in the house up until not that long ago.
Up until last September, I was living in the house, which was like literally seconds after we stopped filming Vanderpump Rules. I got into an Airbnb because
correct. But even in that time, you guys might not have children together, but owning a home together.
Spent my life savings on it.
He didn't buy that house and you didn't just move in with him. You guys bought that house together. Mm-hmm. That is a legal binding contract. Mm-hmm. I would say almost as complicated as a child, like right below that maybe. So like the points that people are making as to why your feelings were invalid were just real silly goose behavior in my opinion.
It's real silly goose behavior.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, these were all things that I've been even saying that just people were not understanding. Like, she hasn't been in the home since September after filming Wrapped. She moved into the Airbnb to do Dancing with the Stars, then moved to New York to do Chicago, and she bought her new home while doing Chicago. That then she did go back to LA and start moving her stuff in. I know she has said too that there are still a couple things still left at the house and things that they have to sort through clearly. So, it's sad that people still just don't understand that, especially with the whole, like, her dating Dan situation. Everyone gets over a relationship a different way. And I loved when she had said, like, what am I supposed to pass up something great just because I just got out of a horrible relationship? No. And she still is dealing with the emotional just manipulation, the lying, all of that. These are things she is going to have to talk to a therapist, help her get through this. It's her way of grieving and getting through it all. Not everyone's journey looks the same. Dan is great from everything I've seen. I really hope that we get to see more of him because he seems absolutely incredible. He seems like the kind of guy that treats a woman like a princess, which is something like that my grandfather did with my grandmother, and it's something that I have always wanted and I do get with my boyfriend. So I completely understand that, and it's a great thing to see because she deserves to be happy. And P.S. sorry about the AC noise. I didn't realize it sounded that bad. It won't happen again, I promise.
I'm sorry they did that too. You also won. So I happy for you about that.
Well, not with any help from, but I'm just happy it's over, to be honest. Very happy it's over.
You don't want to go back and relive that day several more times?
Oh, you know what else some people thought, which on a lighter note in regards to it, they thought that I was going to Applebee's as like a dig against Chili's. And I was like, well, you guys didn't do that collab until like very recently.
No.
And obviously that was filmed in like September. But also, I also love Chili's. So I love it all.
Where I was going to say, we're a friend to all chain restaurants.
And the reason we went to Applebee's is because it was the only one open.
I know, but there's something about that. Isn't it like one of the big, I don't know. There's something about that particular Applebee's too.
It's the second biggest Applebee's like in the world.
So
the first one being first biggest being in Times Square.
This was pre our thing with Chili's. So
yeah.
Well, we're gonna head down under. I keep seeing on TikTok a new cocktail at Outback Steakhouse that is a green shimmering cocktail that has a crocodile on it, and you get to take the crocodile home.
That's cute.
And I'm like, that and a bloomin' onion.
But if it's green, does that mean there's like Midori in it?
Oh.
I don't want to know what's in it. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to get it. Like, there's no way to be like, hey, can I get a scratch cocktail, please? Like, they're not going to do that. It's Outback. You have to go with it.
The announcer on those commercials was always like, I will buy steakhouse. It's like the weirdest Australian accent ever.
Do you want to get a cocktail?
I would love a cocktail.
I'll get a cocktail.
And a bloomin' onion. Say less. Gosh. What else do they have at? I don't know if have I been to an Outback?
I haven't been in years, but I have. But like the bloomin' onion
the bloomin' onion is
that's the star.
Of
the show.
The star.
We used to go to Outback when I would go home to visit in Melbourne because my grandma at times would be like a very picky eater, but she can get like the salad that she likes there. So we would oftentimes go to Outback for lunch.
We didn't go out to eat a ton growing up, and we like when we did, it was usually this Mexican restaurant called Azteca or Red Robin. But like Outback was like, holy shit, we're going to Outback.
Do you know what I love when people talk about like what was like your like this place is fancy growing up?
Mm-hmm. What was yours?
Macaroni Grill.
Mine was Ruby Tuesdays.
Or like an Olive Garden. That shit was pretty,
Yeah.
Olive Garden for like prom or homecoming was like, best.
But probably Macaroni Grill. It's like, this place is nice.
I never had one of those. That sounds. There was one for us. The marker was like, we don't have one, but there's one in Orlando.
There's one. Oh, the next,
which means that like, because Orlando's like the bigger, the bigger city. So you're like, oh, they have one in Orlando. So if we go to Orlando, we gotta go to Ruby Tuesdays or Macaroni Grill or like whatever it is. And then if we got one in Melbourne, big deal.
Big deal. It was like the something about her opening, but in Melbourne. Like mine, I think mine was Outback Steakhouse because it had the word. I was like, what a steakhouse?
Steakhouse.
It's a fucking steakhouse. Look at the knives. They have multiple knives here. Like, holy shit.
They got serrated knives, everybody.
Yeah. Just a salad plate.
This knife is heavy.
Salad plates.
I'm gonna cry. Oh, God.
But, no.
Man, I haven't been to an Outback Steakhouse in a couple years. Love the Olive Garden. We don't really have Applebee's around me, but we do have Chili's. I love me some Chili's, especially those Southwestern egg rolls. Those are my fave. Now, I was intrigued about this cocktail drink, so I did look it up, and unfortunately, it does have Midori in it. It also has Shaveka vodka, I don't know if I said that right, kiwi, mango, citrus juice with a shimmer, and of course the crocodile on top that you can take home. And someone tweeted asking if they could make it non-alcoholic, and they did say that they can make a mocktail as well for anyone that does want the alcohol. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. And I don't know. Listen, me and Midori Sour, me and those Midori Sours, that's why I don't get along anymore. Like, that was the drink back when I used to go to the club. Oh, no, never again. I don't know why I even liked them back in the day. I guess it was just didn't taste like alcohol, maybe? I don't know. They're just the most disgusting thing in the world, and it coming back up isn't fun, and I don't really want to even have that in my system. So maybe I'll go for like the mocktail version.
I love there's so many places that cropped up that I forgot about too, and I was just like, oh, Ruby Tuesdays, that was one.
The salad bar is what got me with that one.
I loved a salad bar.
I still love a
So
salad
much baby
bar.
corn.
I will go to Whole Foods and get the heaviest container from that salad bar.
Yeah,
And I've had people be like, you shouldn't, anybody could come in. I'm like, listen, it's worth the risk.
Sometimes you gotta roll the dice.
Even in New York, like, it's worth the risk for me.
remember at, like Sizzlers, they had like the kids like buffet line or whatever, and that place was so dark. I remember there being like bites taken out of like the chicken nuggets.
Kids are disgusting.
What?
Put back in like the bin
So
or whatever.
gross.
I feel like
tin.
waiting was based on like a Sizzlers or an Applebee's, like one of the two.
Oh, see, Sizzlers, that's one that we never had. I would have thought that was like very fancy.
I feel like the waiting was more like of like an Applebee's vibe.
Did you guys have Old Country Buffet?
no.
Old Town.
Ours was called Old Country
We have
Buffet.
Cracker Barrel.
I feel like I've talked about it before.
I've seen Old Town buffet.
It's just a nasty buffet, but that was another thing that I was
Golden
like,
Corral?
mm-mm.
No, you don't have that. We have Golden Corral.
I'm sure it's all
I've
it's a
heard of
buffet, right? It's just
Yeah,
like
I
it's like a $10 entry, and then you go as hard as you can
Cece's
at
Pizza?
the.
Cece's Pizza.
I've never been to a
Cece's.
Cece's,
Whoa, you're
but
missing
again, I
out.
don't know if that wasn't a Seattle
So
thing.
cheap.
No, but I always have this thing like Shakey's because you know on the Citizens app, whenever I think about it, so I always
What?
have this joke, Shakey's Pizza.
Yeah.
On what does that have to do with this? I'm so curious.
It's a joke because there's some domestic dispute.
At Shakey's Pizza. The Citizen app?
It was reporting. Yeah, so now every time I
It goes
see,
dun dun dun.
and I'm like, at the Shakey's, there's shake. Like, of course, at the Shakey's, it's called Shakey's. But now every time I see Shakey's, I'm always like, what's going on in there? Sorry, no offense to Shakey's. I'm sure this was just like
Just a one-off.
it was a isolated incident. But anyways, I want what Soup Plantation really needs to come back. I think
we
it's I
change
think it's
the
coming.
name?
I feel like the name's
The
that
name-
already made me like tense up a little bit.
No,
Why
the
it
name
called
is
that?
terrible. The name is terrible. But like, I don't even like.
We'll call it Soup.
Soup.
Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, no, I hate that it's called that. But like, I just think about.
We knew more
I just
soup
think about
places,
the.
though.
I just think about the place itself and the food that the name. I just like it disassociates so much from it, which is not great. But sorry. But apparently, they are coming back in like Arizona, and then there's a version of it in Rancho Cucamonga. So I'm down for a little road trip ski.
I
if you
will go anywhere, drive long distances for soup.
I will travel for soup. Okay.
I love a soup.
Some of these places I've never even heard of. I haven't heard of that soup place or the old time or old country buffet. I have heard of a Golden Corral. Cece's Pizza doesn't exist by us. And that's because like where I am, we have really good pizza. Our mayor of the city and our governor just went down to Washington to try to get them to approve that we have the best pizza in the USA, which they did. So that's pretty cool. That's why like we don't even have Domino's or Papa John's. Like those go out of business because we have such good pizza that no one wants crappy pizza. But I want to know what you guys think. Where have you gone as a kid that you miss, that you wish you could have back or go to again? Let me know down below.
This has nothing to do with soup.
Okay,
But
great.
Can I announce something really quickly?
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot to say this. I feel like you two will both be excited. So Courtney, my best friend that you both
Mhm.
know from childhood that I've known since I was like 13, had her baby, her second
Oh,
baby.
yay. Congrats.
Her name is Margot, so I want to do her first
Margot.
podcast. Margot, I want to do her first
Margot.
podcast shout out. However, Courtney, I spoke to her last Thursday, I believe it was, and I just had a gut feeling. I was like, her due date was on May 30th, but I was like, we haven't talked on the phone, so I want to catch her just in case or whatever. We talk on Thursday. I wake up Saturday morning to a text message. She was 4 centimeters dilated. They checked her that Thursday, and she was like, "No, I just want to wait." And I was like, "Okay, like, are you worried that it'll be an emergency?" And she was like, "I'm just gonna wait. Like, I have a lot of work to finish before mat leave." That young lady goes to the hospital. From the moment she stepped in the hospital to the moment she had a baby in her arms was 25 minutes.
Sounds like a
natural birth.
Record.
That sounds like the dream, honestly.
Natural. Oh, I don't think that's how she described it. We talked the next day.
Okay, never mind.
She's like, I'm glad it was quick, but it was a total emergency. They didn't even have her fully checked in yet because she just like was giving birth. She literally 25 minutes. She said it was the worst pain of her life and really shocking. She was screaming, shouting, which I literally was cackling about this all day because I can just picture it. She kept going, I'm panicking. I am panicking. Like, didn't know what to say and was in so much pain. But then gave birth to a beautiful, healthy little baby girl. And she got here in a hurry. So anywho, if any expectant mothers, Leia, if you find out you're 4 centimeters, perhaps get induced and have that
epidural
right away.
Those videos of you see them like coming in the way and like into the like reception area, and they're just like the woman stands up, she's like, I can't wait any longer, and she just like squats and just like pulls her baby out of it
right out. Like
Seth Meyers describes it.
I love it. Oh, lobby baby.
The best stand up of all time. But he describes it as watching his wife carry a wet paper bag full of oranges, like trying to get to her because it's coming out of her pants, and she just like lays down and pulls the baby out Mufasa style as he literally just stands there and watches.
Yeah.
Women can do anything. Anyway, Courtney, I love you. Congratulations. We are thrilled that everyone is safe and happy. But yeah, it sounds like it was a pretty upsetting 25 minutes of her life.
But when you said 25 minutes, that's why I was like, that sounds great because like, you hear about people being in labor for like 2 freaking days. But
well, she kind of was.
Yeah, I guess she was. She just didn't realize it.
She's just at home doing it.
Well, and as you know, Courtney's the sweetest person alive.
Yeah.
Like she was swearing at everyone, being so mean. And the second the baby came out, she then apologized till she checked out 36 hours later or whatever. And the nurses were like, "Stop, we're done. Like you're good. Like you were literally having an unexpected natural birth. It's fine what you said to us." But
I would be so mean.
Oh, the meanest.
Well, congratulations to Dana's friend. That had to be the scariest situation in the world. I know of a story. My uncle owns a house that has, 3 apartments on it. And the lady that lived in the 3rd floor with her husband she was pregnant, and they were on the way to the hospital, which for us, the hospital is not even 5 minutes away in traffic. So like, it wasn't that far. And she literally gave birth in the car that like she was pulling the baby head out. I don't even want to think about it either, but like this stuff happens, and I'm going to be that person that will be at the hospital when I have my first contraction. I hate pain. So like, I don't know how some of these women don't realize like they're that far along and they tolerate the pain as much as they do. I give them props. Because I do not like pain. But congratulations to her friend.
I would.
I mean, at a lot of times for no reason.
When I'm hangry.
Yeah. Well, hangers.
Picture me in the movie theater. Picture me in the movie theater.
One kernel, fucking Hulk.
One chip in someone's mouth, and I'm like, I would be alone because no one would be like, this woman.
Like, you do it, lady.
She's hopeless.
You do it.
Yeah. One person walks in average speed on the sidewalk in front of me. Hulk. I will walk comically fast to get away from them, and I call them turtles, and my entire body shuts down the same way you get about listening to people eat is me with turtles and aloof magoofs.
Yeah, but you walk abnormally fast.
I know. So I'm saying
I walk fast. You're turbo speed.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't wear like a music festival and I have to keep up with you.
Your tiny little legs.
My tiny legs.
I get a cramp.
Tiny legs. Wait for me.
I get like a side cramp when I'm trying to keep up with her.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and I don't.
You gotta like really, like engaged because otherwise
lead with my center.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like I'll cool it if someone will like touch my arm and be like holy shit, and then I'm like, ew, I'm sweating a little bit now. But I'm saying sometimes these people are walking, and then when there's a chain of turtles and they're blocking the entire sidewalk and truly walking, not even at a normal person's pace. I'm like,
ridiculous.
This is me, but while driving, I Hulk out. I'm road rage.
I'm with Ariana on that one. My thing is road rage. I Hulk out for sure. Especially when like cars just don't use their blinker, don't follow the rules of the road, have to be speeding, doing 100 and something, and you're already doing like 75, 80 and a 65. Like there's no need for it. Like you going 120 isn't going to get you somewhere that much faster. Like watch Mythbusters. They prove that myth. Like I always say that when I see cars like speeding. I'm like, you're not going to get there, but like maybe 3 minutes to 30 seconds to a minute faster. Like it doesn't help. There's no need for it. That's the point. But yes, I'm a road rager, and I've been trying hard to calm the nerves. I just now have a standard car, so it's like, if you want to be up my ass, I ain't moving until you get off of my ass, kind of a thing. Like, I'm not rolling back into you. So if you want to stay there, you can stay there. So I've learned to kind of calm down a bit, but not really. Like, I'm trying. It's not easy when you have stupid drivers on the road, which I do know, like, most states have this YouTube channel. We have the bad drivers of CT. I know there's bad drivers of New York. There's a whole bunch of YouTube channels where, like, people have the dash cams and they submit videos, or they have people that drive through the state that then put the videos up. But let me tell you, people need to, like, we need, like, to have, like, a retesting of your license after so many years. Because I think people forget what the rules of the road are. Like, I got my license when I was 16, but I still know the rules of the road. So, like, what's the problem here, people? What's your Hulk rage? I want to know that.
Also,
Big time.
Speaking of that, speaking of rage, should we do basement?
yeah, basement's perfect.
I've been contemplating this all morning, but I want you guys to go first. I'm scared.
Basement's my favorite part of my week. The lady's husband, who took her young children when she was about to win a marathon, brought her. If you have not seen this video, look it up on TikTok. Marathon lady kids. There's a finish line. He goes 5 feet past the finish line. So not in the direction of she has finished the race, has the kids. She's running down. There's a person right behind her. She's about to win a marathon. That is 26 miles. He basically, like, throws one of the kids at her and she curves the kid.
The kid's like,
and runs off. And then she wins the race. And you see him in the background go, like, looking at people like, oh, what just happened? Weaponized incompetence. You didn't want her to win. That man's husband, first of all, I understand if the kids are like, wait, mommy doesn't want me. You did that. Why didn't you just wait at the finish line and have her 5 feet later at the finish line so they could have this big moment? But instead, you tried to mess her up from winning. Then you acted very confused as to why she ran away from the kid. I mean, in general, it's just like, when women give birth, they are a mother, but they're also allowed to have other identities. She didn't have to be a mother in that moment. She wasn't rejecting her kids. She wanted to win something that she had worked really hard for. Basement.
Yeah. I'm
Disgusted.
so glad that other people are, like,
Had you seen
noticing
that?
it. Yeah. And I was, like, a little nervous at first that people would not see, like, what he was doing and, like, what he was pulling. But then everybody I saw that was, like, stitching that video were all like, no, this is fucked up. Which I was like, thank God people are seeing it, because that shit infuriated me.
I was worried about it too, and I'm sure there are those people. But also, congratulations to her on winning, and good for you for choosing yourself to win for 2 seconds. Like,
So, of course, you know I'm going to bring you the TikTok. Let's take a look at the TikTok, and then I'll explain some things after. Now, I know from the video it doesn't look good at all. I will say the mother, the runner, did come out and speak. I will put the link to that video down below. It's about 4 minutes long, and you have to have the closed captioning on because she is speaking a different language. But pretty much what she says from the transcript is that I wanted to finish. Crossing the finish line, I was exhausted. That I was, and all I could see was the girls by my side, but I needed to reach out and finish the race. Win, and then I went, hugged my daughters, hugged my brother, pretty much like that. She says that she dismantled it because it was in a moment of euphoria, of joy. She had not believed that she would even, like, finish the race, let alone win it. And pretty much the day before the race, her husband and her arranged trying to do, like, a beautiful arrival with the girls, and it didn't go as planned. And at that point, too, they didn't even know if she would even finish the race, so, or let alone win. So it wasn't like that was a thought in their head that, oh my God, what if she's, like, in first place and there's someone trailing right behind her? What are they going to do then? Kind of a thing. This is what she says. There's much more to it. You could check it out with the link down below. It's from the TikTok page. Muy buenas noches.
Yeah.
Katie, who's in your basement?
Mine is a generalization because yesterday I experienced a lot of it on the way home, and it was because I get like road rage, but I don't get aggressive with it. I just mostly like call people names in my car and
I
then
just yell at my yell.
But this one person got really aggressive with me. I was driving on Fountain, and this person thought I was like coming into their lane, barely like over in my own lane. He like kind of honked at me. I'm like, dude, I'm not, and like you have plenty of room. And first of all, why are you like? It's kind of thick right now in the traffic area. So I try to get over a little bit more, but like also there's oncoming traffic this way. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck is your problem? So I get over, he comes over. When he starts to pass me, he swerves into my lane. First of all, why would you do that? Because if I have to get out of your way, I could swerve and then hit someone oncoming. So when people do that, it's not because they're assholes and they're reckless and they're have road rage like that could cause other accidents that could be potentially fatal to other people. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand that. And whoever that person is, get in the basement and stay there because you should not be on the road because this is dangerous. I don't know. Like I just like all the rest of the night, I was like really pissed off.
Yeah. People like that is what pisses me. What gives me road rage.
He,
they're so insane.
I was like probably the furthest over in my lane I could get, and he honks at me, but then he like does that to me. Who does that?
Was he driving a BMW?
He was driving, no.
They almost always drive BMWs.
No, he was driving a
That's hostile.
Okay,
you and I
Range
have
Rover.
cute. You and I have. Well, it's the other one. You and I have cute, productive road rage, though. I would say we don't want to hurt anyone ever, so it's a different thing.
Yeah,
But
it's mostly
fuck that guy.
it's mostly experienced by me, and if there's someone in my car, they get to like hear me yell.
Same. Yeah, I'm mostly just like pissed off at people. I'm like, go! What the fuck is wrong with you?
I do a lot of the like where I'm like.
Someone said it's more powerful if you're mad at someone instead of flipping them off when you're driving to just get their eye contact.
I know.
Just put your thumbs.
I
down.
love
thumb down.
I love
iconic.
I love to just like look at someone.
Well, you need to see if they look stupid.
Yeah.
When you're getting around, someone pisses you off, you like literally need to see their face and you're like, you look like an idiot.
Well, my favorite thing is like I was driving on Outpost down towards Hollywood from the top, and you know there's the stop signs. I observed the stop signs, right? As any normal this person. And when people are parked on Outpost and it's very curvy, this person was coming from behind me, was blowing through every stop sign and was going around any person that was on the road.
No.
And I was like shocked. I was like, that's someone they're going to get in an accident. And then it's like me stopping every stop sign, got to the bottom of the hill, like Hillside and La Brea or whatever. We're next to each other. What was the point of all of that?
Yeah, I'm glad
were you doing?
Yeah, you got there a lot faster.
You risked your life for that.
Or someone else's life.
Or someone, literally for that, just for us to be next to each other. Hi.
When people they're driving reckless like that, weaving, like trying to nearly missing people, and I'm just like, where are you
this
going?
Is Los Angeles.
Like,
you're gonna get clogged up.
You're not getting anywhere fast right now.
No.
Anyway,
okay.
In your basement.
So excited here.
I couldn't agree more with these ladies. It's people like that don't like give a crap that they're risking not only their own life, but other people's life just to be a jackass. Like, where did that get you? It didn't get you anywhere faster. And that's what I mean. Like, there's no need for the shit that these people do. You're not going to get there any faster. Maybe a minute, maybe 3 minutes tops, depending on how fast you're actually going. But you're still putting all of that risk to get there, 3 minutes faster? Why? Why are you risking your life along with other people's? This is a problem, and people need to stop. They need to be better. Like, none of us can do better unless we all do better. So cut it out, people. Like, honestly, you're not going to get home 5 minutes faster just because you blew 4 fucking stop signs. Like, stop it. Or I hope you get pulled over. In my area, you blow a stop sign, you're likely getting pulled over by the motor cop. So, good luck with that one.
Mine is a little bit general as well. I'm putting turbulence in the basement.
I hate turbulence too.
Turbulence literally killed somebody this week.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that flight from
the London to Singapore flight.
Yeah.
10 hours into the flight, they hit some sort of air pocket and they were like, seatbelts, seatbelts, seatbelts. And like somebody said, like within moments that they said seatbelts, the plane, like people hit, there was blood everywhere. And they're saying that turbulence, as climate change gets worse, turbulence will keep getting worse. And before any of this happened, turbulence was already in my basement because I hate it.
I hate turbulence too.
And when I follow highlights on TikTok, specifically because they'll make videos that will like make you feel better about it. But the thing that makes me hate it, I feel like no one ever gets right, like what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the turbulence is going to make, like, when they're like, oh, the plane is not going to crash because of turbulence. That's not what I'm saying. If the plane was crashing, for whatever reason, or there was an issue.
That's what it would feel like.
Wouldn't it feel like turbulence?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So stop.
Free falling.
And I assume
10,000 feet.
Yeah, exactly. And I assume me sitting there in my seat, you're not going to be communicating to me what the actual hell is going on. You're going to be up there trying to figure it out. It makes me, it makes me so mad. And then I also saw a TikTok this week of a flight attendant who was like, yeah, you water landings, no such thing. You're dead.
Well,
And I was like, great.
What just made me laugh about that is I hate when people are like, just look at the flight attendants during turbulence because if they're calm, everything's fine. I'm like, what if they're not?
They're trained.
What if they're freaking the fuck out? Then what do I do?
What if they're like me, where they act calm because they're trying to convince themselves
They're
to be
trained
calm?
to be calm.
Right.
But also in that situation, I bet they weren't calm. I bet they were like, holy shit, hold on.
Wait, so somebody died because they hit?
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of people in the ICU still from this.
Well, I always
I always sit with my, I always keep my seatbelt on when I'm in my seat regardless.
Yeah.
But imagine you're in the bathroom.
I thought about that too because I was like, reminding me of that episode of Jackass when they knocked that guy over in the porta potty. So in addition to your life
Because they
being
said it was
physically threatened,
moments.
you're in
before.
the potty in the sky and you're just being shaken around like a mixed drink with all that fluid. There's so many factors there that are horrible.
What can we do with planes to fix this going forward?
Well, as you said, climate change.
Right,
coming
but
for all
like,
of
so
us.
we got to figure out something about air travel because sometimes it's inevitable, and I literally already get so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turbulence in the basement forever and ever.
Well, hot damn. I did not hear that about the turbulence and that whole story about people hitting their head. I am not a TikToker for sure, but that's just crazy that they didn't even have but a couple seconds to get their seatbelt on. Now, I don't really fly very often. I probably will start flying more since my parents now live in a different state, and our airport actually goes to their state now, so cheap and easy and right down the street. I love it. But I even, like, the couple times I have been on an airplane, I never experienced turbulence. And the solution to that problem is wear your seatbelt. I don't think I've ever not taken off my seatbelt unless, like, I had to go to the bathroom while on the airplane, which most of the flights I've been on have been short enough that I didn't have to use the bathroom, thank God. But I can't even imagine someone being in the bathroom during turbulence. Of course, Dana would think of that. She would. And not only Jackass did that, Josh Altman from the $1 Million Listing on Bravo did it to Josh Flagg. He didn't tip it over, but he made it so that he couldn't get out of the porta potty. And that was pretty hilarious seeing that. One of my favorite moments of that show. That's another show that I really love. And I saw 6 days ago, there was a teaser out for season 15. So that's exciting. And what would be my basement this week? I would have to say stupid online creators that all they do is talk shit on their channel and make up lies about people and then get mad when people respond to them and think that they're the queen of shit when reality is they're the queen of nothing and people don't believe a word they have to say because all they ever do is lie out their asshole. There's some rage for you. But seriously though, we had like this one person, like, she was mad because someone warned her that she doxed her son's address in a video of a Temu haul that she did. And instead of, like, being thankful about it, she, of course, you know, had to be the victim. Like, oh, now they have the address and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, my God. Then she said she wanted to set up a boxing match between my friend's wife that is a creator as well and her because she was mad that her husband warned her about showing the son's address on her Temu package. So yeah, that's my basement of the week. She could stay in the basement. I don't care. Actually, she's moving into a basement. So there you go. She's going to the basement. Love it. What is your basement of the week? If we're all doing it, you better do it too. I'm just kidding.
No, people like make fun of me too when I get scared during turbulence. They're just like, I love it. It's fun. It's like a ride. I'm like, you're psycho.
That's psychotic.
Courtney says that. I used to have a debilitating fear of flying to the point that I could almost not fly. and then had to fly a lot for a job. So I got exposed to it and it like got
It
better.
helps when you,
So I'm able
Good.
to stay calm during a flight. Like I used to like scream cry during taking off and landing.
I still
but
freak
now,
out during
But the
takeoff.
second any turbulence, I'm like, it's the most like primal fear through my entire body. Hate flying, but we have to do it. So we just do, but hate.
Yeah.
That was a good basement. That's relatable.
Thanks. I was really feeling it.
Okay. Well, our time together is coming to a close. You were such a great guest. It's so great having you. But also, really quickly, let's talk about Love Island and going back to Broadway. Just give everyone a high overview of what's going to happen, how you're feeling about it.
Yeah, I'm
Give us the business.
very excited. I've been on a fitness journey trying to get ready for Love Island because Maya Jama, who hosts UK, is just the hottest person alive. And I feel like I really need to somehow step into this and like rise to that occasion of being my hottest self. So I'm perpetually sore and tired, but I'm very excited going back to Fiji, and I'll be back and forth. I go there twice. So I go to Fiji, then I come back here, and then I go to Fiji again, and then I come back here, and then I go to New York for Broadway again, which is also very exciting. But you know what? It's just gonna be what it is. And all the in between times, I'll be at the sandwich shop. So please come see me, and it'll be a really crazy summer.
We should go to New York in August and see.
Come see me.
Oh yeah, I was thinking we're gonna go for the opening, the sequel.
Come. Like not the opening. You know, I feel like opening it's a lot of pressure on the opening.
There's a lot going on.
And I always feel like there's a little bit of a like relaxation that happens like a week or 2 weeks into it that like just makes it, I feel more confident. So like come then.
We will. Well, I was going to say last time when I went for the opening, it was such a quick trip. I was there for like 40 hours, maybe. It was so quick. So should we do a little like take our time in New York trip, go see her and then
there's something else that's happening in
it.
August too that I want to check out.
Do I know what it is?
No, but I'll share with you both because maybe I don't think.
Is it the Insane Cloud? Is it the Gathering?
No, absolutely not.
Well, then we'll pick a time and come.
Yeah.
Do our little Carrie Bradshaw moment.
In my super secret plan.
In your super secret Insane Cloud Posse Gathering.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Is that what it is? You're not really starring in Broadway. Are you the new Juggalo? Are you the Juggalo?
I'm actually Queen of the Juggalos.
I knew it.
Surprise.
I need to announce
surprise,
something.
surprise.
I came here today to announce that actually.
Okay. Well, wow, we're getting the first scoop. People are going to flip out.
We're so excited. Thank you for coming here though.
Thanks for having me.
Come back anytime.
I'm a huge
obviously.
fan. It's the best podcast ever. People who aren't listening should definitely start, but I guess they would be listening if they heard me say that. So
it's possible. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Firstly, I do want to say I did take out the hometown segment that they do. It's something that they get different questions and stories from viewers and listeners, and usually they have an issue that they're asking Dana and Katie for advice on, and it's just something that, I don't know, it doesn't flow very well, especially when I'm pretty much here for the Vanderpump tea, and I know that you guys are too. We love the little quirky things that they talk about in between, and that's what I always loved about their podcast, especially. So check out that on their full podcast, which is over on their YouTube channel or the podcast page. Both will be linked down below for you to check out. I'm excited to hear that Ariana is coming back for Broadway in the summer, which she's actually coming back from August 1st to the 27th. So if you live close by and you missed her the first time, this is perfect opportunity, which I did miss her the first time and I am not missing her this time. I'm excited for Love Island. I'm not a big Love Island watcher, though I have been catching up, knowing that Ariana will be co-starring. So that way I have the lowdown on Love Island and all of that. And if it's something that you want to talk about here, that's something we can totally do. Let me know if that is something you're interested in down below. Other than that, I think this was a great podcast. She was laid back, hanging with her friends. I'm so happy about the Something About Her opening, and Katie and Ariana are just so grateful for it. And I will say, since they have opened, the line has, yes, dulled down a little bit, but they still have had lines out the door waiting for an hour to 2 hours at most for these sandwiches. So props to them for doing a killer job. Keep up the good work. I can't wait to one day hopefully go to LA and be able to go to WeHo and try these sandwiches. That's actually one place I've never actually been is out west. I've been up and down the whole East Coast, but I have been as far west as, I think, Tennessee, Nashville. So I haven't been too far west, if you know what I mean. But this has been fun. I hope to do another Disrespectfully episode again soon. Not counting the Girthmaster episode, which is coming out. I wanted to get this one out first because I wanted to hear what Ariana said about the reunion. I know you guys did too. Girthmaster is just going to be a cute, fun episode that, let me tell you, we're going to be laughing our asses off the entire time because it's that good and it's that funny. But I will be back soon. We have some Rachel podcasts to go over, you know, the whole nines. I hope you all have a lovely day. Make sure to like this video, comment down below, and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and go back and hit the notification bell to all. All right, guys, keep shining, and I will see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Relax your